Copyright strike. All right, guys, it is Saturday, the calm before the storm. There you go. OC with you on the original OC channel, Smartwatch Talk for the Smart Collector. Saturday, January 24th, 2025. Snowmageddon Eve in the United States. And we've got a great story for you tonight. We're going to do a 10-minute live stream where we focus on the chaos at LVMH's watch division. We have the full scoop. We have all the sordid details. There's a scandal underway within LVMH. And we have all of the juicy details coming up in 5 minutes. First, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. Just to give you a teaser, I'm going to give you a teaser of what is to come tonight. Let's see here. Am I allowed to share this? Am I allowed to? I don't know. Lawyers, am I allowed to share some of this insider juicy gossip? Let's see here. Let's unshare that. Let's share screen, share screen. Let's do it. Oh, we've got all the juicy details. By the way, Hublot and Zenith are basically at the precipice of full financial collapse. Tag Heuer has not benefited at all. Not benefited at all from the $1 billion F1 sponsorship deal. We have all the sordid details, all the scandal. By the way, this is from BFM, which is, I believe, a French magazine, and this is translated into English. We'll be going through this. We'll be going through this because Tag Heuer CRO Antoine Pin, or Pin, I think, Antoine Pin, was relieved of his duties, a couple of weeks ago on the eve of LVMH Watch Week, which was an utter disaster. LVMH Watch Week was a complete and utter disaster. That was in Milan, Italy. But we're going to get to everything, guys, in 5 minutes. But first, let's say hello to the chat. We've got co-CEO of the Watch Colony Channel Network, Mathis. Hold on a second. Let's do something. I'll be right back. Mathis is here. DJing a wedding in one ear and got OC in the other. Have a good night, everybody. Hey, focus on the DJing, Mathis. Focus on the DJing. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about listening in. This is boring watch talk. This is ASMR. Is that what it's called? ASMR watch talk? Extremely boring watch talk. By the way, the link to join the panel is pinned. The pin is linked. The link is pinned. So feel free to jump on. It's going to be open panel tonight. Open panel. Everyone's welcome back. Everyone is welcome back. I know there are a lot of people, a lot of new faces coming into the channel. A lot of people brought in by the Tracks NYC Melee, and a lot of people brought in from the Omega Speedmaster coverage that we did. We were the first live stream to break the news on the new Speedmaster Le Mans, or the Le Mans copycat. And so we got a lot of new watchers, and we also have people who have left and come back. A lot of people left and came back. Everyone is unbanned. Everyone is unbanned, I believe. If you're not unbanned, send me a note on Instagram. I will unban you, I think, unless you've done something egregious. Everyone's welcome back. Let's all get along. Everyone's welcome back, but we never forget. Remember that. MD Chaz in the chat. I hope, by the way, Mathis, member of the OC channel. That's important for everybody to know. Let's see, how do you become a member? Everybody who supports the channel is pretty much a member. But for those of you who aren't, give the gift that keeps on giving, guys. By the way, speaking of giving, we're doing a special live stream tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Sunday unboxing for St. Jude Children's Hospital. So St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So tune in tomorrow, Watch News Sunday, live surprise unboxing. St. Jude's, all the proceeds go to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital tomorrow morning. So save your super chats tonight and give tomorrow morning. Thank you for being a member, Mathis. MD Chaz, I hope OC Studios has a backup generator. I do not. Do not have backup generators. We don't have anything here. We barely even have power. We barely have anything. I'm using like 2 9-volt batteries to power this laptop right now. We got Andy Lewis, member of the OC channel. I wonder what's going on, guys. Well, this is Storm again. We're doing live storm coverage. If you want to tell us What are the conditions like in your area? Just drop a note like, hey, I'm in the Lone Star State like Andy Lewis, and right now it's, frozen mix and it's 33 degrees or whatever. Just let us know. Let us know what's going on. We got CKM, member of the OC channel. Let's all upvote. Yeah, upvote. Upvote the live stream. Yeah, let's get to 20 likes. We can do it. We can do it if we really try. Doc Mick in Florida, also a member. Hello, everyone. What's up, Doc Mick? Florida is a lot nicer than where I am right now, where it is, how cold is it? 18 degrees. It is 18 degrees. We've got Psych Student Minnesota. Love the EDM. Oh, see, that is Hypnotize, courtesy of Nightcap. Check them out on all your streaming music services. The artist is Nightcap, and the track is Hypnotize. I thought I'd bring that one out. It's been a while since we did that tune. People love that tune. Boitano, come back. We've got 2020. Did I say 2025? 2026. Thank you, MD Chaz. Yeah, it's January 24th, 2026. Thank you for the correction. I've got Whole Milk in the chat. Bernard Arnault will need to fire his kids. I don't know. I'm not sure if the kids were involved in any of the impropriety. I think Frederick Arnault is head of, what is he the head of? Is he the head of Hublot? Frederick Arnault is the head of something. But anyway, Hublot and Zenith are pretty much, and it pains me because I like Zenith. I actually have a Zenith in my collection, and I'm sad. I'm absolutely sad that Zenith is now, I mean, they're denying it. They're denying it in public reports, but basically they're unprofitable. Zenith is unprofitable. They're on the chopping block. They are probably going to be decommissioned. I think Hublot and Zenith will be decommissioned, and Tag Heuer is on life support, basically, at this point. Not to mention all the other brands. They got a gazillion weird brands at LVMH. Got Johnny O, representing Chicagoland in the chat, member of the OC channel. Good evening, all. Got Mr. Tudor to you. By the way, we also have the Morgan Stanley. We have a summary of the Morgan Stanley Q4 report. Not looking good for Tudor. Not looking good for Tudor at all. And by the way, it's not looking good for Patek either. Like, Patek is like one of those fascinating brands where 3 collections go way over retail and the rest go 30% under retail. Is the Patek journey viable? Is the Patek journey feasible? We have, by the way, the rumors are, after such a disastrous LVMH watch week, the pressure was put on executive management to go after Patek Philippe. I mean, go after in a friendly way. Like enough is enough. We need to buy you because our division is flailing, and if we want to be serious about horology, we need Patek Philippe. So the rumors are that LVMH has either floated or will about to float a $50 billion offer. 50 billion with a B, $50 billion offer for Patek Philippe. Should Terry sell? Should Terry sell? Maybe I'll do a poll. Maybe I'll do a poll. Should Terry Stern sell Patek Philippe for $50 billion to LVMH? It's a pretty good question. Boxers in the chat. Good evening to OC and the chat crew. We got the best watch people here. The absolute creme, the creme de la creme of the watch community is here. Talking to watches, we're doing boring watch talk here. Shout out to the people at my former live stream. Thank you for sending the audience over. I never thought that would happen. I don't know why that's happening, but okay. If you're joining from another live stream that just ended, welcome. Everyone's welcome back. OC, why didn't you break the news on Baum and Mercier? There are only two people I know that have ever bought a Baum and Mercier. One is AC Morgan, and he sold it. And number two is TG01, and he gave it away. So, I mean, I don't think anybody I know owns Baum and Mercier. Is it Baum or Baum? How do you pronounce it? I mean, no one even knows. I mean, I saw Baum and Mercier at Watches and Wonders 2023, I think it was. They were introducing a watch that was kind of their integrated steel sports watch called the Riviera, which is kind of a cool name, Riviera. But the watch isn't very good. The watch is garbage. All Baum and Mercier. No offense to AC Morgan or TG01, but the watch is garbage. Don't ever buy Baum and Mercier. Mathis sums it up perfectly. Everyone's welcome back, but some of the things I've seen in this watch community can never be forgotten. They can never be forgiven either. They can't be forgiven. Once you break trust, once you break loyalty, there's no going back. He fell. Anteater's in the chat. What's up, Anteater? Anteater's a member. Thank you guys for the memberships. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. We are still, I checked with YouTube yesterday, we're still the #1 live stream in membership engagement of any live stream, any channel that live streams. That means we have more members over subscribers. It's like a ratio, like members divided by subscribers. That ratio for our channel is the highest of any channel anywhere in the world that does live streams. That's a testament to you guys and your strong support of good old-fashioned mediocre quality watch talk. Thanks so much. Mr. Fahrenheit, haven't seen you around in a while. What's up, Mr. Fahrenheit? 23 degrees with sleet. What part of the country? Don't dox yourself. But like, give us an idea. 23 and sleet. By the way, that's the name of a new app that's launching very soon. It's called 23 and sleet. Yeah. Check for it on Google Apps and the Apple Store. 23 and sleet. Hey, got Vimal in the chat. He's also a member. Funny how Frédéric Arnault was. I did that in a British accent. Let me try it in French. Funny how Frédéric Arnault was removed from LVMH watch in June 2025 and moved to L'Europeana. I'm terrible with accents. We need Diego back on the channel. Yeah, Frédéric Arnault was removed from the LVMH watch group, and now he's CEO, I think, of Laura Pianos, which is their piano division. It's like a luxury pianos started by LVMH. Let's see. Patek is done. Oh man, don't say that. I'm on a journey. You know, Alex, wristwatchholics on the journey too. We need Alex on the show. Tell us about how things are going with the journey of Patek Philippe. By the way, we're going to get to this article in 5 minutes. We've got the whole chaos. We're gonna explain the entire chaos and financial collapse of LVMH watch division. We'll wrap it up and we'll do this whole stream and finish it up in 15 minutes. We're going to do a 15-minute live stream. How far are we gone so far? I think we're like 6 minutes into it. So we've got 9 minutes left. We'll wrap up everything in 15 minutes. No one wants Patek anymore. Wow. Holy shit. The tables have turned. Listen, you guys remember when Patek Philippe raised their prices on September 15th. I came on here and I said that was bad timing. It was bad optics. It was a mistake. It made them look reactionary. It made them look like price increases were tied to tariffs and not tied to other things like inflation, the price of gold, currency, exchange rates, etc. And it was a mistake. And now next week they're lowering prices in the United States by 8%. We showed that here first. We leaked it here first before anybody else. But it was still a strategic blunder. And it makes them look weak. It makes them look like they're like flip-floppers. So that was a mistake. Will Patek recover? 2026 is the 50th anniversary of the Nautilus. You bet Patek is still the most collectible, desirable, iconic, and valuable brand. $50 billion. The rumor at this hour that LVMH wants to pay for Patek Philippe. Is Patek worth it? Vimal says Patek makes $2 billion in revenue, so 50 billion is 20x sales. I would take that deal and send a handwritten thank you note. But Vimal, he's responsible for stewarding the legacy of Patek Philippe. He's the third generation Stern, right? There was Terry Stern and Philippe Stern, and I think Eduardo Stern or somebody else. I don't know, some other Stern above him, right? He's not going to let it. He's not going to let it go. He's not going to let the company go. He's too invested. By the way, keep upvoting. Let's get to. We got to have more upvotes than this. There's a lot of lurkers out there. If this is true, I got to check the upvote numbers. Come on, guys. That's it? Come on. You can do way, way better than that. Way better. There's 11 people watching on YouTube, plus 2 on Grindr and 2 on Hinge. If you're watching on Grindr or Hinge, head on over to YouTube so you can boost the numbers, guys. Boost the numbers on YouTube. Hey, got MJ in the chat. Stay warm, everyone. Thank you, MJ. Member of the OC channel. It's 76. That's Doc Mick in Florida. 76 in beautiful eastern Florida, the east coast of Florida. Somewhere between Del Boca Vista Phase 2 and South Beach. That's where Doc Mick is. Got Tickle My Talk. Tickle My Talk. He's welcome back. He's productive and constructive member of the community. We have rehabilitated so many former former questionable personalities. But Tickle My Talk's good. He's good. He's good in the chat. Whole Milk's the best. Whole Milk is clever and knows a lot about watches. Got Bruce G in the chat. Happy live stream engagement, folks. Yes, Bruce G, member of the channel. Always had my back, Bruce G. It's good to see you in the chat. By the way, 7 degrees in Chicago and light snow. Guys, we're doing live storm coverage. Snowmageddon 26. Live storm coverage. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Who else do we have? Julius Caesar in the chat. It's 25x. Yeah, it's math. 50 divided by 2. Something like that. 20x. Julius Caesar, thank you for being a member. We've got all the top members in the chat here. Guys, the viewership is absolutely skyrocketing. What's going on? What is happening here? Let's see. We've got, who else do we have? Tobister McDonkey. Billy Bob Stern. Yeah, I knew. So we got Terry Stern. Thank you, Tobister. Terry Stern, his dad, Philippe Stern, and Philippe's dad, Billy Bob, the patriarch of the Patek Philippe dynasty. Hey, we got Pedro Bermudez from Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico just a couple of months ago. We had a big meetup. We can talk about it now that it's over, but we had a big meetup in Puerto Rico. We had a big meetup in Puerto Rico last year, but I went down with Mrs. OC. Mrs. OC and I hung out with Ryan Singer in sunny Puerto Rico. We're going back. We're going to go back again. But I got to keep it. I got to keep these things. Got to keep the schedules private. Let's see. Who else do we have? Hey, we've got Diego M. I remember every slime ball in this community. Diego M has a list. He has a running list of everybody. I'm at the top of the list. Believe it or not, I'm at the absolute top. It's okay. I mean, I'm not that bad. Am I that bad? By the way, slime ball might be something that you would ascribe to Sir Antoine Pin, the former CEO of Tag Heuer, who left abruptly. And we're gonna read the story in just 2 minutes. We're gonna read this story, and then we're gonna outline the entire chaos at LVMH watches, which is LVMH Watch Week was a disaster. Can you think of a single watch? I gotta be careful because there's like a 50% chance that one of the watches that's being unboxed tomorrow is from one of the LVMH brands. I mean, I'm not 100. I don't know because it's a surprise, but it's possible. So I got to be careful. I don't want to bash the group too much. Thank you, Diego M. Jen G is in the chat. Member of the OC channel. Isn't there a saying about the grandfather building the business, the dad maintaining the business, and the grandson killing the business? Well, there's this thing about third generation companies. The third generation usually ruins it. But that's not going to happen to Patek. It's not going to happen to Patek. It's just not going to happen. Got Chris Hopper in the chat, not a member, but welcome. Chris has been spending some time in the chat here last few shows. Good to see you here. Mr. Burns, a member. This has got to be it. This has got to be like somebody else's account. You changed your name, whoever you are, Mr. Burns. Sorry, I just came over from Grindr. It's just convenient being over there. Yeah, I know. You're swiping. You're multitasking. You're listening to the stream and you're swiping left at the same time. Left, or right. Whatever you do on Grindr. Got Chelsky in the chat. Day after tomorrow in the making, the Ice Age. Yeah, it's a global Ice Age occurring here. Hey, Vimal, member for 16 months. I'm catching up on the chat, guys. I'm almost done, I promise. I'm going to go faster. Thank you for being a member for 16 months. Who knew this channel even existed 16 months ago? That's ridiculous. Look what we've done in 16 months, guys. Actually, that's 16 months since we've been monetized. Actually, think about it this way. Memberships are 16 months old. And then we were monetized like a little bit before that. Then the channel went live a little bit before that. So the channel's been around for, let's see, like 18 months, I think. Maybe 18, 19 months. Who would think that we'd be the #1 watch channel on YouTube after only 18 months? If Stern believes in legacy, he should rename the company to Stern and Company. Grandpa Stern picked up Patek Philippe in a fire sale during the Great Depression. That's a lot of watch education, edutainment about the history of Patek Philippe. Yes, it's like there was a guy named Philippe and a guy named Patek, and they came together. And yeah, they should call it the Philippe Stern Watch Company. Who else do we got? That's it. Are we good? By the way, I know a lot of people, I've been on calls all day talking about the activities that happened in Minnesota. We want to keep the stream politics free, but we know that a lot of people are processing what's going on there. They're watching clips and angles and dash cam footage and cell phone camera footage, all that stuff. And I understand if you guys are distracted by that. It's cool. It's a very serious situation. We don't talk politics here, but of course, like on behalf of everybody involved in the original OC channel, we send our hearts out to those impacted by this additional tragedy, a subsequent tragedy in Minnesota. But let's focus, guys. We got the NFL playoffs. We've got Snowmageddon. We've got, by the way, I have leaked screenshots, leaked screenshots of Patek Philippe's 2026 novelties. Maybe I'll show those tomorrow. I have leaked screen grabs. I got so much shit to get to. How long is this? I want to wrap everything up in 15 minutes. Let's see. Looks like we've been going for 8 minutes. So I've got 7 minutes. I got 7 minutes to do everything that I want to do. So I'm going to go fast. I'm going to try and go fast, but feel free to jump in and let me know what's going on. Like share your thoughts in the chat. Okay, here we go. This is courtesy of BFM, which is a French language newspaper or magazine. It's been translated into English. Here we go. Ready? Let's see here. I'm going to read it. The soothing sounds of OC. Okay. He left after only a year and a half. He left after only a year and a half at the head of Tag Heuer. I mean, as the head of Tag Heuer, Antoine Pin was targeted by an internal investigation within LVMH for moral and sexual harassment triggered by employees. Wow. Listen closely, and I'll read this. Wow, it's funny how that just changed. Okay, cool. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing here? All right. Behind the official announcement of a new professional chapter, the departure of Tag Heuer boss Antoine Pin, announced on January 16th, that was just a little over a week ago, is part of a much more sensitive context, that of an internal investigation conducted after accusations of harassment. On Friday, January 16, Tag Heuer, owned by LVMH Group, and by the way, we're going to be talking a lot about the utter chaos within the LVMH watch group, how multiple brands are on the precipice, and that's a fun word. I like saying precipice, on the precipice of collapse. And is that an exaggeration? Yes. It's designed to invoke emotion. Like when you say the precipice of collapse, it's like, holy shit, that must be serious. Well, it is serious. After 23 years, on Friday, January 16th, Tag Heuer, owned by LVMH Group, announced the departure of its general manager, Antoine Pin. After 23 years at LVMH and only a year and a half as the head of the factory, Tag Heuer, the leader left his position. In the press and press releases, Antoine Pin has officially decided to, quote, start a new chapter in his career. He decided to move on to new professional endeavors. Behind the scenes, the version is completely different. Indeed, according to several internal sources close to the file, this, keep in mind, this is translated from French to English, so it may not be perfect. According to several internal sources close to the file, this sudden departure would follow a report made via the group's internal alert system. An investigation was then opened after feedback from collaborators invoking facts of moral and sexual harassment. Wow. By the way, I want to thank the Archie Luxury live stream for sending over their viewers. Shout out to the shout out to the viewers. If you're joining us now, if you just came over from the Archie Luxury live stream, welcome. Type in a comment in the chat. Behind the scenes, the version is completely different. Indeed, according to several internal sources, the sudden departure would follow a report made by the group's internal alert system. An investigation was then opened after feedback from collaborators evoking facts of moral and sexual harassment. Faced with these revelations, the LVMH Group entrusted the investigation of the file to an independent external firm responsible for conducting an in-depth investigation. a very well perceived approach by the employees concerned who want to remain anonymous and do not wish to detail in the press the facts of which they claim to be victims. That's a very interestingly worded, long, rambling paragraph. The conclusions of the report were not made public due to the confidentiality rules governing this type of procedure. However, the employees concerned, all employees within the Tag Heuer watch manufacturer and still very affected, claim that the facts were recognized as proven in the context of this investigation. Contacted by BFM Business, they say they are, quote, very relieved of Antoine Pin's departure. So it looks like BFM did reach out and connect with people who were involved in reporting Tag Heuer head Antoine Pin, who became subject of an internal investigation. The group was extremely responsive to our reports. I was afraid of not being listened to, of not being taken seriously, but no, I really had powerful support. For me, it's exemplary. I feel protected, and in such a context, it's very important, says one of Tag Heuer's collaborators. I'm not sure if collaborators is the right word. Still in shock. Tag Heuer is the first watch brand of the LVMH group and occupies a central space with a range ranging from, okay, so the product range ranges from 1,600 euros to 100,000 euros. Tag Heuer, they have some interesting watches. They have a Carrera, which is kind of cool. They have the Monaco, right? The Monaco. The monocle. They have aqua shaper or some kind of aqua thing. But mostly no one should be buying Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer, by the way, is pretty much flat on its back. LVMH Group spent $1 billion with a B, acquiring a 10-year sponsorship of Formula One, and that's like $100 million a year. And a lot of that is to promote Tag Heuer as the official timekeeper of F1. But it's not really translating into sales. But I could have told you that. I could have told you. It should be noted that it is the group's purely watch brand that best resists a complicated market, especially through solid fundamentals, a well-established global distribution, and an international visibility maintained by powerful sports partnerships. First and foremost, Formula One, historically linked to the brand. Really? Formula One is historically linked? I guess so. Tag Heuer also presented 3 new products at the LVMH Watch Week in Milan. These are 3 probably extremely forgettable watches, so don't worry about it. The Tag Heuer chronograph with catcher. I don't know what the fuck that means. The Tag Heuer Carrera chronograph and the Tag Heuer Carrera chronograph. 3 incredibly different models with the exact same name. Antoine Pin's departure after only a year and a half as the head of Tag Heuer, therefore comes at a time closely followed by the teams and partners of LVMH's watches. There's all kinds of turmoil and change going on. Julien Tournard was head of Zenith, then he went to Hublot, then he went to Tag, now he's at Hublot, and Frederic Arnault shuffled around. Anyway, that's what's going on at Tag Heuer. The CEO of Tag Heuer is gone. CEO of Tag Heuer is gone. He was at LVMH Group for 17 years. Did I get that? 23 years. He was at LVMH for 23 years, and he was at Tag Heuer for a year and a half, and he's gone amid a scandal involving harassment. Okay? Does anybody watching have any questions about this portion of the story? Because now we're going to get into Hublot, and we're going to get into Zenith, which are pronounced Hublot and Zenith in French, I think. I like to throw in a little French. Who else? Any comments in the chat? Any comments? Hey, we got Green Shroom. What's up, Green Shroom? Good to see you. Listen, I don't want to get derailed. But I have comments about Green Shroom. Maybe I'll say that at the end. End of the show. Stick around, Green Shroom, and buy a membership. If you like boring watch talk, buy a membership. This is a very important comment. Great analysis so far. Indeed. Thank you. Now, no questions so far on this. Now we're going to get to the meat. Why is LVMH in the watch division in turmoil? Let's see if I can bring up another article here, courtesy of Business of Fashion. They did a great expose on this. Now, let me see how to do this. Hold on a second. Gotta unshare and share. This is a PDF. Let me see here. Share slides and PDFs. I can actually share the PDF. I'll share the screen. I'll share the window instead. Hold on a second. I'll share the share screen. Share the window. Boom. All right, cool. All right, you guys can see this, right? Let me just double check. See what you guys are looking at here. Yes, okay, cool. Got it. Talk about me now, old man. I have no money. I have no money for a sponsorship. Okay. No, I mean, we do boring watch talk here, Shroom. Boring watch talk. So at the end, if you want to jump on, you can jump on. But I'm trying to keep this show to 15 minutes. Right now, we're 11 minutes in. I've got 4 minutes left. To get to everything I want to get to regarding the complete collapse. Who thought this would happen, right? The complete collapse of the LVMH watch group. Now, LVMH itself, I mean, come on, LVMH itself is like a $70 billion company, right? They've got a gazillion brands. They have over 75 brands at LVMH. Let me see if I can pull it. I mean, do I dare pull it up? They've got everything. They have 75 brands spanning, let me see here, spanning wine and spirits, and also fashion and leather goods, perfume and cosmetics, and watches and jewelry. So just to give you an idea, under wines and spirits, LVMH is home to such famous brands as Chandon, and what else? I mean, just, let me see. Let me pull it up. What are their brands? Chandon is like a champagne, right? What else do they have? They have 29 wine and spirits brands, and they have a whole bunch of fashion and leather goods brands, which include, of course, Louis Vuitton, but they also have Celine, they have Fendi, they have Christian Dior, they have Givenchy, they have Loro Piano, So they got a lot of very big brands in the fashion and leather goods space. And she's in perfume and cosmetics, forget about it. They are like a massive luxury juggernaut. Just some of the brands under perfumes and cosmetics include Fenty by Rihanna and Guerlain. Lots of those. And then, of course, under watches and jewelry, LVMH is famous for, of course, jewelry, Tiffany and Co. But they also have watches. They have Bulgari. They have Tiffany & Co. and Bulgari for jewelry, but they also have Bulgari for watches. They have Daniel Roth for watches. They have Hublot. They have Tag Heuer. They have Zenith. And they also have Gerald Genta, right? So of the watch brands, they have Bulgari, Daniel Roth, Gerald Genta, Hublot, Tag Heuer, and Zenith. And Tiffany & Co., if you want to count that as a watch brand. But, and they also have LePay, the watch company that they bought a couple years ago. All right. Now, back to the action. Thank you, CKM, for now. Orange. Yeah, I got to be able to wrap this puppy up in 4 minutes. $20 super chat, member of the OC channel, CKM for now. You can wrap it up in 4 minutes. I have faith. We got to do it. Yes, Moet, Chandon, and Hennessy. Moet Chandon is like a famous champagne brand, like wine and champagne, or is it just champagne? Hennessy is something else. Not quite sure what Hennessy is. I have fond memories of Heuer and Tag Heuer, and it's links to motorsport. Thank you, Boxer. Appreciate the comment. Thanks for jumping in with good old-fashioned watch knowledge. All right. This article is courtesy of Business of Fashion. And I want to credit them with this article. This is behind a paywall. But I'm gonna show it anyways. You guys can read it. We're gonna read along together. LVMH's watches unit is under a cloud of uncertainty. What happens next? Now, just to preface, and I've got like 4 minutes left. Hublot is in huge trouble. Okay. They used to be the sponsor of the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup. They used to be sponsor of Premier League. They can't afford to do those things anymore. Okay. They can't afford to do those. So they're no longer the official timekeeper of FIFA World Cup. They're no longer the official timekeeper of Premier League. That's like something in England where the English version of soccer, basically. It's called Premier League there. And they got like these teams like Manchester United. They wear these like super bright uniforms. And the referees have like whistles and stuff. They run around in shorts with the ball. It's like a black and white ball. Looks like a soccer ball, but it's different, I think. It may be the same. I'm not sure. So like Hublot's down 40%. Hublot sales are down 40%. Next up, you got Zenith, which I love Zenith or Zenith, but their watches over the last 3 or 4 years have been a disaster. They came out with one watch that was a hit, I think in 2022. It was called the El Primero Chronomaster Sport. It kind of looked like a Daytona, but everything since then has been like a homage to a Royal Oak or an homage to this, that, or the other. And I think they're down to like 11,000 units. Now, when Julien Tournard was CEO of Zenith, he said, if we don't make 30,000 watches a year, we're not profitable. If we don't get to 30,000 watches a year, we're out of business. Okay, they went from 13,000 to 11,000. They're not profitable. And by the way, LVMH has been dropping hints like, oh, well, we're going to keep Zenith around as like a watchmaking powerhouse, like a watchmaking arm within the company. Like in other words, we'll use them to like make a few thousand El Primero movements, and then we'll power like that Tiffany and Co. chronograph they came out with, which is powered by the El Primero. Yeah. So it sounds like they're already paving the way to shut down Zenith, and they're just going to make movements. Which, by the way, the Zenith, the movement, the El Primero movement is pretty long in the tooth. They've done nothing really to it in 50 years. All right, let's get to the article. Are you guys following me? Are you guys with me? Vimal says Hublot needs to be competing with Longines on pricing. Ain't nobody paying Audemars Piguet prices for Royal Oak homages. Yeah, let me. I mean, I could show you. I mean, you guys know what they look like, right? Let's do that. I'll show you this. Share screen, OC. Share screen. Okay. Let's see. Boom. These are the watches. These are the Zenith watches that they came out with. What do you think? Yeah. Black ceramic, guys. Black ceramic. Zenith. Ugh. That kind of looks like my Royal Oak. Wow. LVMH watch. Look at all this stuff. Awful Gerald Gentas they came out with. Some ugly looking weird clocks that look like MB&F ripoffs. You've got this ugly Hublot that's inspired by what's his name? Novak Djokovic or something his name. Some tennis player. This one's kind of cool. This one's cool. This is the new Louis Vuitton Convergence with the engraved front. Have you guys seen? Now this one, that one's nice. I'll show you a picture here. Boom, see? That's kind of cool because it's they did a good job on this one. Look at that. How they do the guilloche on the case. Oh, that's true. So this is a hit. I wouldn't recommend buying it. We have someone in the community who has one of these with the non-engraved version. Shout out to Doc Micken. Shout out to a Doc and his watch. A Doc and his watch. So there's this, but there's like pretty much a bunch of. I mean, the Daniel Roth is good, but the vintage ones are better. And that's an ugly Carrera. The ones that are out now are much better. And there's some ugly fucking World Times from Louis Vuitton, which nobody will ever buy. And this ugly Tiffany & Co., which looks like they copied they tried to copy a Patek Philippe. These guys at LVMH are in a state of chaos. They're in a state of chaos, and we're about to explain why. Are you ready? Let's pull up the article. Share screen, share screen. All right, let's read along. LVMH's watches unit under a cloud of uncertainty. What happens next? Robin Swithenbank. Now, Robin is the reporter for BOF, Business of Fashion. Goes to Vitish Gambino, member of the OC channel for 9 months. Sometimes brands deserve to go. And the relaunches of David Lee Roth and Gerald Genta are so disappointing. The originals are better and less expensive. Yeah. People, I mean, sometimes brands deserve to go, and people and performers have to retire. They have to go. David Lee Roth has to go, guys. Way past his prime. And Genta, it's ugly. It's an ugly, ugly. All the watches with the Gerald Genta brand on it are good. I mean, there's the Mickey Mouse ones, but that's about it. Hey, we got CB in the chat. Richemont sold Baum and Mercier. Yeah, I mean, no, that brand's garbage anyway. Nothing's going to happen with that. I mean, they might as well just shut it down. The brand's worthless. MD Chaz says, if LVMH buys Patek, won't sales of Hublot and Zenith increase because of bundling? That's interesting. Maybe they would open LVMH multi-brand stores, and you'd have Tiffany and Co. And no, you wouldn't have Tiffany Co. because those are sold at Tiffany Co. You'd have like Tag Heuer, and you'd have Hublot, and you'd have Zenith, and then you sell Patek, and you'd have to buy a bunch of the other stuff. Yeah, you're right, MD Chaz. It's possible. Let's continue on. Let's read this article. Robin Swithenbank, who works for Business of Fashion, dials in from LVMH Watch Week in Milan, that's in Italy, with details on the difficulties at Tag Heuer Hublot's new life beyond football. I talked about that a couple of minutes ago, that Hublot can no longer afford to sponsor Premier League or FIFA World Cup. And the question of Zenith's future. Yeah, Zenith's future is, I think they're dead. I think Zenith is dead. They should just kill. The whole watch division should go, except for Tag Heuer. It's over, guys. It's over. Here we have some Tag picture of a trio of Carreras. All right, here we go. And here we go. Watches expert Robin Swithenbank weighs in twice a month with intelligence and insight. That's something that this channel doesn't do. Provide you with intelligence and insight on the age-old industry of watches as it navigates tensions between reinvention and tradition. All right, here we go. The byline is Milan, France, guys. Milan, France, the home of LVMH Watch Week, which was an utter disaster, absolute disaster. But here is the reporting from Milan in the heart of France at this hour. LVMH may finally have cleared the air with Friday evening's confirmation that Tag Heuer CEO Antoine Pin has exited the company, but big questions loom about the future of the group's largest watch brand and its watchmaking division as a whole. The timing of Pin's departure was awkward just before LVMH Watch Week kicked off in Milan, the first major industry event of the year. Speculation around the veteran LVMH executive had been rife since his departure was reported by the Swiss site Business Montre. That's the publication that I think I referenced earlier, French publication. On January 3rd, behind the scenes, employees hadn't seen Pin at the office for weeks, and frustrated journalists were told Tag Heuer executives would not grant interviews. For now, a successor has not been named, leaving Tag Heuer in limbo at a crucial time. More on this below. The situation adds to pressure on LVMH's stalling watch business, which also spans specialist watchmakers Hublot and Zenith, clockmaker Lepay, the watchmaking divisions of Bulgari, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tiffany & Co., and Xiaomi, and niche high-end brands Girard Ginta and David Lee Roth. All barring Dior and Xiaomi are at this week's events. So this article is summarizing events that took place last week. So all of those brands were there. Hublot, Zenith, Lepay, Bulgari, Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Tiffany, and Argenta and Daniel Roth. Dior and Xiaomi were not there, sorry. Profit has slumped. Profit has slumped at LVMH's watches and jewelry division, down 13% year on year in the first half of 2025, while revenues have been largely flat, up just 1% over 9 months, with watch brands mired in an industry-wide slump, dragging down better performing jewelry. And some of the divisions are worse than others. Hublot, of course, is down 40%. Hublot is down 40%. Jonathan Smith in the chat, OC, get the shovel. The OC, get the shovel ready. We got 2 shovels. We're ready. Tomorrow morning, we're ready, guys. 60 people watching. There are 60 people watching. How many upvotes do we have? Let's check it out. We're going to do an upvote check. That's it? Seriously? Let's get the 35 upvotes, guys. 35. We can do it. There's over 60 people watching. By the way, we're going to try and limit this stream to 15 minutes. We're 12 minutes in. I've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to try and cover as much ground in 3 minutes as possible. Okay? Don't go anywhere. Profit has slumped, okay? Down 13% year on year in the first half, while revenues have been largely flat. Revenues aren't flat at Zenith, and they're not flat at Hublot. Way down. Things are not looking good there. This isn't just an LVMH issue. Swiss watchmakers are under the cosh. What does that mean? Under the cosh. Not familiar with that word. Under the cosh? Let me look it up in my Funk and Wagnalls. Cosh. A thick, heavy stick or bar used as a weapon. A bludgeon. Wow, that's British English, informal British English. A thick, heavy stick or bar used as a weapon, a bludgeon. Okay, I've never heard that word "kosh" before. This isn't just an LVMH issue. Swiss watchmakers are under the cosh with headwinds from all directions, including tariffs, soaring gold prices, and a slump in Chinese demand. And don't forget about unfavorable exchange rates with the US dollar. Very strong Swiss franc versus the US dollar. All of these putting pressure on Swiss watchmakers. Yet rival Richemont, owner of Cartier and Jaeger-LeCoultre, among others, has been growing steadily, with sales from specialist watchmakers up 7% over the holiday quarter, reported last week. Now, listen, just because Richemont is up a little bit, that doesn't mean they're doing great either, right? LVMH, Richemont, is home to Vacheron and what else? What else do they have? Vacheron, JLC, Panerai, IWC, right? Those brands are, some of those brands are in trouble. Some of those brands are in trouble too. LVMH's update comes later this month, forecast to report a 1% decline in sales from watches and jewelry over the same period. What that means to me, Longa, thank you very much, CB. Longa at Richemont as well. Got smart watch, get the best watch people watching. I love that. The smart collectors are always here. If LVMH's watches and jewelry division is basically flat, that means watches are way down because jewelry is doing well. Jewelry is expensive and always does well, but that means watches are declining. All right, here's the section that talks about Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer enters a year 2 of F1 under pressure. What does that mean? This is the first year where LVMH paid $100 million, year 1 of a 10-year deal, to promote Tag Heuer as the official timekeeper of Formula One. Pretty much yielded 0 results. Lots of nice looking signage, a lot of branding everywhere, but no one's buying Tag Heuer. No one gives a fuck. Okay. I could have predicted, and we predicted that. We predicted that way back a year ago. The heat is on Tag Heuer's management. The heat on Tag Heuer's management comes as it enters year 2 of its high tariff Formula One sponsorship, part of a blockbuster deal between LVMH and F1 owners Liberty Media, said to be worth $1 billion over 10 years. That also involves other stuff other than Tag Heuer being the official timekeeper. It involves like the champagne company and Tiffany Co. and other stuff. But basically, a lot of it was poured into helping Tag Heuer, and it's not helping. Activating the sponsorship was a huge part of Pin. That's referring to former Tag Heuer CEO Antoine Pin's brief when he was appointed in September 2024, as was rolling out a colorful new collection of $1,950 Formula One watches designed to draw in aspirational Gen Zers brought up on a diet of Instagram and Netflix's Drive to Survive series. So, in other words, they came out with those cheap $2,000 F1 watches, trying to appeal to young people, and they're a disaster. They're ugly. No one bought them. No serious watch people bought those stupid watches, right? Did anybody in the chat buy one? I don't mean to shame you. I don't mean to shame you, but listen, fess up if you did. So why the dramatic split? Talk of strategy tensions has centered on the future of the connected Tag Heuer's luxury smartwatch, also priced around $2,000. According to some estimates, LVMH has invested as much as 250 million Swiss francs in the project over the past decade. These fuckers are crazy. No wonder LVMH watch group's fucking almost out of business. They poured 250 million Swiss francs into the Tag Heuer smartwatch. What the fuck? I'm absolutely convinced that if you take the Colony and you take the Colony executive team and put them in charge of LVMH watches, we'll do a better job than these fucking Arnault guys. These Arnault guys don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to watches, okay? They're gallivanting around, flying on private planes, meeting with fucking Zack Attack and Mark Wahlberg. It's a disaster at LVMH, an absolute disaster. I can't. They wasted 250 million on developing a smart watch. Fucking buffoons. At the same time, Tag Heuer is now pushing hot horologie watches at hypercar prices, upwards of $150,000. No one wants a Tag Heuer Carrera Tourbillon. Guys, nobody wants one. They're not going to sell. Meanwhile, its bread and butter mid-range mechanical chronographs continue to sustain it. Now, those are cool. Those, like the $10,000 Carreras, those are good. Everything else, and the Monaco. People like the Monaco, right? But no one's buying the Monaco. If they sell a couple thousand a year, that they'd be lucky. Can Tag Heuer be all things to all men, or just motorsport fans aged 18 to 30? There's the rub. Yeah, Tag Heuer should just focus on Carrera only, and Monaco or the Monaco, and call it quits. And Hublot, as much as I like Hublot, they're faltering. They're faltering. But we're going to talk about Hublot next. Can't remember if Hublot's next or Zenith. But Zenith and Hublot are basically defunct brands. They're basically on the, I'll repeat the phrase I used earlier, on the precipice of collapse. On the precipice of collapse. Antoine Pin's departure continues a long season of football manager syndrome for one of LVMH's crown jewels. Antoine Pin was the brand's sixth permanent CEO in just over a decade. Until LVMH names a successor, speculation will swirl, adding uncertainty. Meanwhile, Pin's Designed to Win campaign, that was a campaign that they rolled out in conjunction with their F1 sponsorship. The Designed to Win campaign, launched in April, continues with a big focus this week on the brand's chronographs. New releases include the $139,000 Carrera split-second chronograph. And if I had more time, I'd show it. But I want to try and keep the stream to 15 minutes. We're 13 and a half minutes in. I've got a minute and a half to wrap this up. So I'm going to move as fast as possible. Otherwise, I'd show you this $139,000 watch. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need to see it in order to know that you shouldn't be buying it. And no one should buy it. No one should be buying $139,000 Tag Heuers. Okay? So those are the problems at Tag. Hublot. Okay? Hublot moves beyond football. Before we get to Hublot, real quick, I want to say hello to Aussie Expat in the chat. What's up, Aussie Expat? And Gatsby's in the chat, member of the OC channel. No one, and he's screaming that, no one, especially F1 fans, aspire to own a plastic Tag Heuer F1 watch. This was a missed opportunity. Look at the success IWC had with their AMG Patronus watches over the years. Thank you, Gatsby. Thank you for the real watch talk. Doc Mick, your comment was withheld by YouTube because of the saying the word sexual harassment. I don't know. YouTube is funny like that. Try not to use the phrase sexual harassment, I guess, in the chat. Thank you, Gatsby. All right, we're going to continue on. Hublot moves beyond football. Guys, we have 70 people watching. 70. It's storm. We're doing real-time storm coverage. We're covering the chaos at LVMH. It's Snowmageddon Eve, guys. Let us know how things are going. Got Pip in the chat. What's up, Pip? Good to see you here. Thank you to Pip and Mrs. Pip for hopping on the stream the other day. It's good to see Mrs. Pip and Little Pip and Puppy Pip. We saw Junior Pip. We saw Puppy Pip. Everybody. Kitty Pip. Edward is Kitty. Pussy Pip. All right. Hublot moves beyond football. I've got 1 minute left to get to all of this stuff about. We're going to educate. This is all about watch education, guys. The thing is, there are no other live streams that cover this shit. Why am I the only person doing it? I don't know. I care about entertaining you guys. I care about imparting the knowledge, what's going on in the industry to you guys. It's about all the edutainment. So like, there are live streams that have been around for 10 years. They don't tell you about any of this stuff. They don't cover any news. They don't cover any watch news. So we're going to do it. I mean, the live streams are all over the place, showing all kinds of weird stuff. We bring you the actual watch news, the new releases, the industry highlights, the rumors, the breaking news, all of it right here. I don't want to see someone's fucking burnt egg fucking souffle and burnt fucking potatoes smothered with fucking hot sauce on a plate. One of those fucking one of those crazy plates that you get at Crate and Barrel. We're here for Watch Talk. Let's keep going with the Watch Talk. All right. Hublot moves beyond football. Over the road at Hublot, led by CEO Julien Tournard, who vacated the Tag Heuer CEO seat for PIN. So Julien Tournard did a great job at Zenith. He did his best at Zenith. He did what could be done at Zenith. Moved from Zenith to Tag Heuer, and then something happened at Hublot, and it created a vacancy. And they said, "Oh, listen, we need to move from Tag over to Hublot," and so he did. And it's probably, I mean, will he be able to save Hublot? Probably not. Hublot's probably done. Over the road at Hublot, led by CEO Julien Tournard, who vacated the Tag Heuer CEO seat for PIN, the waters seem calmer. Actually, they're not calmer. I mean, the waters are calmer, but you're talking about 40% declines in revenue. So I wouldn't necessarily call that calmer. After his first year seeing through the 20th anniversary of the Big Bang, Tournard is now repositioning the brand so it's no longer skewed so heavily towards the totemic design. That's another one of those words I got to look up in my Funkin' Wagnalls. Totemic. What does that mean? Totemic, relating to or resembling a totem or totems. The fuck? I don't get it. Okay, so it's no longer skewed so heavily towards that totemic design and football, whatever that means. The two pillars that have defined Hublot over the past 2 decades, have lost some of their edge, says Tournard, explaining his decision to surrender sponsorship of this summer's FIFA World Cup and UK's Premier League. No, he's not doing it because those things have lost their edge. He's doing it because those sponsorships are super important and they're very expensive, and he can't afford them anymore. They got to cut costs. They're cutting costs. They're cutting marketing. They're cutting back because sales are down. Okay, now the first thing that gets cut when sales are down is you cut the marketing budget. And they're probably paying, like, who knows what they're paying for FIFA World Cup sponsorship and Premier League sponsorship. It's probably a lot of money, right? And here he goes, and as the article says, it will save a lot of money. Analysts expect FIFA will be pitching the World Cup timekeeping license to brands for as much as $50 million, with activation likely to cost the same again. Holy shit. $50 million. So the World Cups, like, FIFA's happy that Hublot isn't sponsoring them going forward, because now they're going to redo the sponsorship and jack up the prices. Jack up the prices. So they want to ask $50 million, okay, for the license. Hublot can little afford such sums. Morgan Stanley estimates the brand's revenue have plunged from 744 million Swiss francs in 2022 to 495 million Swiss francs in 2024. Now, wasn't I just talking about this? They went from 744 to 495. Now, that's a drop of about a third in revenue. That, and 2025 is going to be a disaster for them. 2025, they probably dropped another 20 or 25%. Fuck, Hublot is in big trouble, guys. Hublot is in huge trouble. The brand may not make it to the end of the year. Otherwise, handing the keys to prime marketing real estate to a otherwise, handing the keys of prime marketing real estate to a competitor sounds risky. So in other words, like Hublot giving up their sponsorship and letting somebody else jump in, it's like, that's kind of scary. If Hublot gets lucky, this is good analysis here, by the way. Shout out to the author. If Hublot gets lucky, a tech brand will take the slot rather than a rival. Omega and Breitling, who both invest heavily in sport, told me they're out. In other words, Omega and Breitling sponsors NFL. They're paying $6 million for a Super Bowl ad. Omega, they spend millions and millions, maybe even tens of millions, as being an Olympic sponsor. So they don't need a bunch of other stuff. The profile is a bad fit for Rolex. I agree. Rolex prefers golf and tennis, but it could make sense for its second brand, Tudor, already involved in football. I don't think so. I think Tudor is also struggling. I think Tudor is also down 30 or 40% over the past couple of years. Tudor and Hublot are the two worst performing brands in the top 50. You've heard me say that before. So Tudor doesn't have money to spend on jack shit. They already got don't they have like David Beckham? Tudor has like David Beckham and somebody else, and like Cindy Crawford or something. I can't remember, right? Oh, Cindy Crawford, I think, is Omega. Who are the Tudor ambassadors other than David Beckham? Nobody cares. The correct answer is nobody cares. Swatch Group brands Longines and Tissot have form here too. With the World Cup being co-hosted by the United States, by far the industry's largest market, opportunity knocks. I don't think Longines or Tissot are going to our game either. So yeah, I mean, things at Hublot are dicey. Tournar's official line is naturally more circumspect. He says Hublot has become too football focused, particularly given soccer has less marketing power in the United States. That's very, very diplomatic to say. Yeah, we were overemphasized on football. And while once that was disruptive in 2006 when it made its first move into the sport, it's now, well, just a bit mainstream. He now intends to reassign budget to music and art, two areas where he says human emotional responses are on par to those seen in sport. Do you really think Hublot is a good match for music and art? What kind of music? Are they going to be going after rappers? I'm not. What artwork? What artwork? Is it like graffiti art? What kind of art is going to be associated with Hublot? Football and Hublot. By the way, I got 1 minute left. We're going to keep going. I want to keep this stream nice and tidy. I want to wrap it up in 15 minutes. So we're 14 minutes in, 1 minute to go. Let's see how much we can accomplish here. Football and Hublot have not completely consciously uncoupled. Sponsorship of UEFA's Champions League and 4-yearly Euro international tournament will continue, as will its relationships with footballing superstars Kylian Mbappe, Tournar says. So they're still pouring a lot of money into soccer and football. Tournar is banking on the retreat from football to free up energy for Hublot's new manufacturing facility. Oh man, the timing could not be worse. In April, he takes the keys to H3, a 13,650 square meter facility. Wow, that's huge. That's like 13,000 square meters. In feet, that's like 4 billion square feet. That's like the size of the state of Michigan. Yeah, 13,000 square meters is a lot. That's like, yeah, a lot of square feet. A huge facility in Neon that should be up and running early next year, as well as an area devoted to bespoke commissions. Expect this to be a theme for luxury watchmakers in the coming years. It will also be home to a flexible 400 square meter client entertainment space. Yes, for people who want to fly and visit the Hublot manufacturer and be wined and dined in the Hublot factory. Experiential manufacturers are not a novel concept, but Tournar says the label is setting a new standard, offering concerts and sporting events designed to give, quote, money can't buy moments to its customers. No, money can't buy. That's for sure. Not only VICs, not sure what that means. The idea, he says, does that mean VIPs? What does VICs mean? Not only VICs, the idea, he says, is as much about bringing in younger buyers who might just have swung their first steel classic Fusion. Long-term loyalty is the goal. This is a fantastic breakdown of what's going on at Hublot. Why would FIFA be a bad fit for Rolex? After dropping F1, there should be lots of marketing dollars available. Are you suggesting football and soccer is too much of a proletariat sport? I am. I think Rolex likes to be associated with sports that are not associated with violence. Think of tennis, golf, sports like that. Sports that involve individual achievement, because like when you're buying a $50,000 Rolex, it's really about like your individual success, individual achievement. I don't see Rolex wanting to sponsor football or soccer. There's a lot of violence in soccer too, like a lot of physical contact and stuff, and controversy too. The players aren't necessarily squeaky clean I see Rolex sponsoring like running and in the sporting world it's tennis and golf primarily, So that's what I think. Let's see. Very important customers. Thank you, Gatsby. I think that makes sense. I think you're right. I was thinking VIPs, but VICs makes sense. They should have like explained what they meant. We got Gil O'Shea in the chat. I'd like to say hi to every single person who types in a comment. We still have over 60 people watching. 68 now. 68. We're gonna wrap this puppy up, but we still have to talk about Zenith. So hang in there for just a couple of minutes. Soccer's too lowbrow for Rolex. I agree. All right, back to the article. Let's see if we can wrap this thing up soon. This is a very, very good article. Shout out to Business of Fashion. I'm going to drop the link to their channel a little bit later. This has the air of a good idea. Plenty would jump at the opportunity to train with Usain Bolt or tinkle the ivories with Lang Lang, but it's the gloss on a project that was commissioned 5 years ago and broke ground 2 years later when the industry was in the middle of the post-pandemic boom. Hublot's volumes have since stagnated around 40,000 units per year. Tournar says there's no group level expectation those numbers will soar once H3 is up and running, but the danger will be it becomes a white elephant. And I don't think Hublot is in prepared in any way, shape, or form to be able to increase production, given that they've cut production. I don't know if they've cut production, but sales are down by 40%, guys. Units are down by 40%. Hublot is a disaster. Okay, finally, the next failing brand is Zenith, which I'm sad about because I like Zenith as a brand. But Zenith is basically, for all intents and purposes, bankrupt and defunct. It's gone. Let's talk about Zenith. Zenith is not for sale. You know what that means? That means Zenith is for sale. Whenever you have anybody saying Zenith is not for sale, that means they're for sale. But the problem is, who's going to buy them? Nobody wants them. No one needs their movements. The only people who want their movements are people within LVMH. I think Zenith, you're going to hear by the end of the year, Zenith will be gone. You heard it here first. Zenith is gone. And what of LVMH's third specialist watch brand, Zenith? It's not been 18 months since the division's then head, Frédéric Arnault. Does that name sound familiar? Frédéric Arnault. He is one of the sons of, what's his name? Bertrand Arnault. What's his name? Bernie Arnault. What's the guy's name? The head of LVMH. Is it Bertrand Arnault? Bertrand Arnault. Let's double check that. Bernard. There's so many people in the Arnault family. Bernard Arnault. Okay, cool. I got it. It's not been 18 months since the division's then head, Frédéric Arnault, declared Zenith would become the group's watch movement making engine room. Interesting. 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes. We'll do 5 more minutes. Thanks, Mathis. Thank you for the extension. Appreciate the extension. Thank you, Mathis. We have 5 more minutes to cover this. Frédéric Arnault declared that Zenith would become the group's watch movement making engine room. In other words, he's pretty much laying the foundation that they're going to shut down the watches and just make movements. He's just laying the precursor. He's laying the precursor for that. Unintentionally, here it is, unintentionally giving the impression that Zenith's days as a brand might be numbered. Well, they are. They are numbered. Okay. Earlier this month, LVMH denied the company was for sale. You know what that means? It means the company's for sale. If they denied that it was for sale, that means they would love to sell. They would be thrilled to sell. They'd love to get 10 cents on the dollar for it. LVMH denied the company was for sale after rumors in the Swiss press. Industry insiders remain skeptical, including OC. I'm not an industry insider. I'm an outsider, but I am skeptical as well. In Milan, which is in the heart of France, on Monday, in the heart of France, which is the watchmaking capital, watchmaking manufacturer of the world, right outside of Paris, in the suburbs, called Milan, the company's chief executive doubled down on the group's message. Quote, it was refuted by the group as being a rumor, as being unfounded and being defamatory, as being a lie. Benoit de Clerc told reporters, the brand is not for sale. CKM for now, another $20 big fat orange super chat. I have faith you can wrap it up in 5 more minutes. I'm trying my best. 5 more minutes. Got Thomas Burnett in the chat. What's up, Thomas Burnett? Good to see you. Yeah. Benoit de Clerc. The brand is not for sale. That means it's 100% on the chopping block. De Klerk declined to comment on further rumors. The brand is making losses. LVMH does not permit its chief executives to discuss figures, but de Klerk said that in 2024, the brand sold every watch it made and expects 2025's numbers to show similar levels. If that means 11 to 13,000 watches a year, Zenith is done, guys. Absolutely done. Zenith is toast. They're fucking done, okay? We're not big and we're not small, he said. We're just right. We're growing, but very slowly. They're not growing. Come on, they're not growing. They had their chance to grow between 2020 and 2022. And they had to grow to 30,000 watches. Instead, they basically were stagnant at 11 to 13,000 watches. It's over for them. Over. We're growing, but very slowly. I don't want to have spikes that go up and down because it's not good for the brand. That's exactly what a brand says when they cannot achieve any growth. When a brand can't achieve any growth at all, they say, you know what? I'd rather be stable I'd rather be stable than to have these weird fluctuations. No. People like fluctuations when they're called growing. It's called growth. People like that kind of fluctuation. You think AP and Patek and Rolex are like, we would prefer to be stagnant and avoid these dramatic increases in revenue. No, they don't say that. That's what a failing brand says. I would like to stay stable. Stable equals stagnant. And make no mistake, 2025 is going to be a disastrous year. It was for Hublot. It will be for Zenith. If it's curtains for Zenith, says the author, that would be a crying shame in the eyes of many watch enthusiasts, and I count myself among those. Founded in 1865, it has a sparkling history, but its current profile and popularity with contemporary buyers seems stuck in neutral. Well put. It's never had the marketing investment granted to its stablemates, while its name is arguably more generic, which may prove a hurdle it can never jump. That's right. The Zenith name is just like, in the United States, it means like old TVs and radios. That's what Zenith means in the United States. Being bottom of the alphabet doesn't help either. Yeah, there's something about having a brand that starts with Z, right? Very, very good analysis. Shout out to Business of Fashion. I don't subscribe, but you guys probably should. If you have like a lot of money, I'm going to drop the link to the Business of Fashion website. This is 2 really good articles that they've done in the past month on the watch industry. This person, the author, is really, really, really good. Hold on a second. The author whose name is Robin Swithenbank. Shout out to Robin Swithenbank. Does an amazing job. All right. The new collection, talking about Zenith now, the new collection focuses around its best-selling Defy line. I showed you pictures of that earlier. It's like a Hublot and Royal Oak knockoff. New pieces include a new entry level for the brand, the $7,800 Defy Revival A3643. It brings the barrier to entry slightly higher than before, but in line with inflationary rises, said Dick Luc, who has not raised prices following U.S. tariffs last year and doesn't plan to do so for gold either. That's good because you shouldn't be raising prices on Zenith. People are buying more gold watches, he said. Yeah, they are, but not at Zenith. They're not. Nobody is buying gold watches at Zenith. At Hublot, they do. Hublot gold is cool. They have a lot of incredible alloys at Zenith. They have magic gold, ceramic gold, all kinds of funky gold alloys. Zenith, not so much. Is Richemont grabbing market share? Its results season, and Richemont has already set the bar high. The group doesn't report brand by brand performance, but the 7% sales 7% sales from specialist watches over the, I think it's a 7% increase, 7% sales increase from specialist watches over the holiday quarter suggests that Vacheron, Constantin, IWC, and Jaeger LeCoultre enjoying a successful gifting season, likely gaining market share. Forecasts for LVMH and Swatch Group, which includes Omega Longines Breguet, among others, including Glasuto Original. Please don't ever buy a Glasuto Original. Omega Longines Breguet and a Glasuto Original, which report later this month, are much less positive. LVMH and Swatch, not positive. Richemont's competitors could be in real trouble, as suggested by its performance, as well as data from the Federation of Swiss Watch Industry. The Federation of Swiss Watch Industry reports December results on next week. December results will be reported next week. And of course, I will cover them live. The FHS's most recent tally shows exports of Swiss watches down 2.2% through November across all brands and territories, with a 7.7% decline year on year for the month of November alone. But that's for the entire industry. When you look at, for example, shipments to the United States in the month of November, shipments to the United States were down 52%. Okay? Shipments to the United States were down 52% from Switzerland's watch industry to the United States. Okay? Richemont's strength suggests others are taking a hit. All indications are Rolex, Audemars Piguet, and Patek Philippe are doing just fine. Bird's eye, the industry's challenges are clear. Almost entirely based in Switzerland, luxury watchmaking is defenseless against the apparently bulletproof Swiss franc, which continues to gain on major currencies with a proportional knock-on effect on costs and margins. Then there's President Trump's punishing tariffs on the non-EU country, which spiked at 39% last summer, sending the industry into a spin and wildly skewing export figures as brands front-loaded U.S. inventories before the taxes kicked in. A new rate of 15% is expected to be mandated at the end of this quarter, meaning is likely to be signed into administrative law or whatever by the end of March. But CEOs remain nervous. Increasing prices could impact their leading market, and they're right. They should be very careful about increasing prices. Prices are very, very high. Patek is lowering prices next week in the United States. Where are the bright patches? If those are the negatives, CEOs are calling the positives. Export data for 2025 due on Thursday. That's next week. are expected to show the decline in values will top out around 2%. Not too shabby. That's not the United States, baby. In the United States, it's far worse. For the entire year, I'm going to predict that shipments to the United States, well, there were some big shipments in April and May, I think. So shipments for the last 3 months are way, way down. September, October, November, and December, I think are all going to be down by 50%. Where can brands look for growth in 2026? Some territories provide a glimmer. The Middle East, swelled by a population growth and low taxes, is on the up, as are South Korea, Spain, home of the cash-generating new F1 Grand Prix later this year, and Saudi Arabia, where brands are now beginning to invest heavily. Japan has stalled, but its currency remains weak. The Winter Olympics next month should give European retailers a lift, with Omega due its biennial bump as the official timekeeper of the Olympic Games. Some are shifting manufacturing to focus on innovative materials, with brands looking to find substitutes for gold. So in other words, what they're doing is they're charging premiums for ceramic and for titanium because gold is very, very expensive. So instead of making steel watches, they're making ceramic and they're making titanium and charging premiums for the ceramic and titanium pieces. Got it? Another option is to keep spending. Some brands are going big on marketing, signing blockbuster deals in a bid to gain market share in a declining market. Breitling is leading the way with an NFL deal signed in the autumn. Expect fireworks when it announces plans for its first Super Bowl commercial on February 8th. Short-term risks behind the deal are high, but CEO George Kern is betting on his expectations. The industry will concentrate around 10 top 10 brands. Actually, the industry is going to concentrate on four brands in the next decade. Awareness, image, and relevance could well be the keys. Sector resilience may come from elsewhere. Beyond the finely honed on-paper strategies and guesswork, luxury watch brand executives are talking about something more fundamental they believe will secure their future. Luxury watches as the antidote to AI, artificial intelligence. Oh my God. Do they really see luxury mechanical timepieces as an alternative to pop culture's fascination with artificial intelligence? Are they fucking crazy? As tools like Grok become household names overnight, there's an ever-increasing value, emotion, in handcrafted mechanical objects. These guys are crazy. These people who make watches really think that it's about fucking mechanical watches. Oh man, it's over. It's fucking over. Is that desperation? I think so. I don't think so. There's no data set for such things, but for centuries, buyers and collectors have been ready to pay a premium for luxury, craftsmanship, and scarcity. If anything, as we become hungrier for the real, the tangible, and the human, desire will likely increase. Watchmakers have some first mover advantage here. It's what they do. It's what they have always done. And we have a little disclaimer here. LVMH is part of a group of investors who together hold a minority interest in the business of fashion. All investors have signed shareholders documentation guaranteeing business of fashion's complete editorial independence. There you go. Great, fantastic article by Robin Swithenbank in Business of Fashion. And I'm going to drop the link now to Business of Fashion. Check out their website, guys. I want to thank them for allowing me to play or read all of their behind the paywall content. So that was a lot to digest. It was a lot to digest. I'm going to be covering more of this tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on Watch News Sunday, where we'll be talking about Patek Philippe. By the way, LVMH, as a result of this disastrous performance at LVMH Watch Week and these brands basically going under, they're willing to fork over $50 billion to buy Patek Philippe. $50 billion. It's crazy. But I'll be covering Stormageddon, Patek Philippe, LVMH, and we have an unboxing. We have a big unboxing tomorrow. All proceeds benefit the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So tune into that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Now, if anybody wants to jump on the panel and talk about anything other than watches, feel free to jump on. Hey, you got Nathan in the chat. What's up, Nathan? We got still a boxer still with us. Anybody who wants to jump on can jump on. The panel is open. It's we're transitioning to Park Bench Ultra, which means anybody can jump on and talk about whatever topic they want to talk about. I'll drop the link. It's pinned at the top of the chat, but I'll drop it right here. And we'll do 3 minutes. 3 minutes of panel discussion. By the way, Green Shroom, are you still listening? If you're Green Shroom, if you're still listening, type in a comment in the chat. I'm happy to address Green Shroom. If he's still watching. If he's not watching, then I can address it some other time. 50 people watching. Guys, I think you can leave now. I think we're pretty much done. I think we're done, right? Hey, dear Artifact, a member of the OC channel's in the chat. The last name Swithenbank makes me feel like a pauper. My net worth doesn't entitle me to even hear a name like that uttered. Yeah, it's a cool name. Robin Swithenbank, head of luxury, the luxury writer for Business of Fashion. Super smart. I actually don't know if Robin is a male or female. Robin is let me just look up Robin's profile here. Based in the UK. Wow, used to be a British GQ, freelance journalist. It's a guy. He's a guy. Robin is a guy. Okay. Robin Swithenbank is a freelance journalist, writer, and broadcaster. He began his career in the early 2000s. His work appears in the New York Times, Financial Times, Telegraph, Vogue, Vanity Fair, Condé Nast, Business of Fashion. He was the founding editor of The Jackal before that edited Gentleman's Journal. So he's a top luxury lifestyle reporter. OC, your thoughts on the new Tiffany chronograph Zenith powered with the platinum case? You are referring to this watch right here. Boom. Yeah, I am not a fan of it. Let me get a nice picture. Sorry for the very fast scrolling. If you get nauseated quickly, this I mean, I have I have an El Primero that looks exactly like this. So my thoughts are I don't love it, and it's expensive. I think it's over $50,000. No one should be buying. No one who cares about watches should buy Tiffany & Co. Simple as that. Boxer, you have Rolex, you have Patek. I mean, come on, you're a watch guy. You would never buy fucking Tiffany & Co. It's the same movement that you find in the $8,000 El Primero. Don't buy it. Only buy Rolex, Patek, AP, and Richard Mille. And like the journeys are crumbling fast. Crumbling fast. All right, Green Shroom isn't in the chat anymore. I was gonna talk to Green Shroom, but Green Shroom, come back. And anything else you guys want to cover? Okay then. Really, really good show. By the way, if you're into fun, crazy live streams, check out the franchise clubs. Head on over there. Tell them that I sent you. Tell them OC sent you. Go to YouTube. Let me see if I can find the link to it. I think they're streaming now. Do a search on YouTube for the franchise club. Singular. I think it's singular, right? I think they have multiple channels. I'm always confused which one is streaming and which one isn't. Let me see if I have a link. I'll drop a second. I'll drop a link to the show. You can head on over there. Tell them OC sent you. It's the Franchise Club. It's a satire entertainment channel on YouTube. Check them out. It's kind of funny stuff. Good. I mean, they put it's high quality satire, and they actually do prep and preparation for the channel. So shout out to Curly and the team over at the Franchise Club. Last chance for anyone to jump on the panel, or for Green Shroom to jump on, or if Green Shroom is in the chat, let me know. I want to thank them all for his 16-month member chat. I want to thank Ghost of Vita Gambino for his 9-month member milestone chat. I want to thank CKM for now for a pair of orange $20 super chats showing support for the show. Thank you, CKM. Anything else? All right, you guys stay safe, stay warm. I hope you're all stocked up on food. Try not to watch the news. Don't get wrapped up in the news and all the stuff that's going on in the world. Try and stay positive. Stay positive, guys. And all that good stuff. Anything else? All right. Yeah, take care of each other. Be safe, guys. Be safe out there during Stormageddon. Click on that link in the chat. Head on over to the Franchise Club if you like that kind of thing. It's a different kind of show. It's not a watch show. If it's not your cup of tea, don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'm just sending over the link. But if you head on over there, maybe head on over for 5 minutes. Say OC sent you. And that's it. All right. I'm gonna have a nice Dr. Pepper. Nice cold Dr. Pepper for my throat. And let's see if we can, just by sitting here, if the audience will start to atrophy and we'll go down to like nothing, just by doing nothing. Let's see if that happens. I'll show you some sneak peeks of other stuff I'm working on. Hold on. Hang with me. Let's see. I've got some fantastic stuff. Yeah, I can show you this. Hold on a second. Sneak peek. I can show you a sneak peek of some stuff. See, if you left, you're going to miss it. If you left, you're going to miss what I'm about to show. Nobody else has this. Nobody else has this shit. But I have it. And I'll show it because I'm not scared. I can do it. All right, I have this and I can drop it in there. Nobody else has this. You know, Boxer, you're going to enjoy this. Check this out. Yep. Yep. I got the screen capture. When they were testing the adding the new 2026 novelties to the site, I got the screen capture. Thank you to my friends at the Rolex forums. Shout out to my friends at the Rolex forums. I got it. I got it. Let me see if I can open this one too. Now, what does this one show? I'll just bear with me a second. I'll explain. I will explain. Just give me a second. All right. So what you're seeing here is the Patek Philippe website. And what they did is they were loading in their 2026 novelties into the system. And for a brief minute, those models became visible. Now, I'm not vouching for the authenticity of this. I don't know if this is credible or what, but basically it looks like what we're seeing here is a trio, and someone who's very familiar with Patek Philippe is going to have to help me out on this one. A trio of new platinum perpetual calendar chronographs, reference 5270. So on the right, you see a rose gold 5270, and on the left, you see 3 blank spaces where 3 different colored dials are going to be there for a new platinum version of the perpetual calendar chronograph reference 5270. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Hey, Darth Simon's in the chat. Good to see you, Darth Simon. And then I also have this screen capture. Check this one out. Boom. Now, what is this? It's kind of hard to see, but up at the top, let me see if I can zoom in on this at all. How do I make this bigger? Can I make it bigger? Let's see if I can zoom in. It looks like a new version of the 5236 inline perpetual calendar. Okay, so the previous version, which it might still be available, of the 5236P, which is the platinum inline perpetual calendar, was blue. It was like a blue dial. Then they recently introduced this rose opaline kind of salmon color. Looks like they're introducing another color for 2026. That should be interesting. And then down here, looks like they're introducing a 5204 white gold with a different dial color. So I've got all the breaking news here. Nobody else has this stuff. Nobody else has this. All right, cool. Head on over to the Franchise Club. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Don't forget tomorrow. As a matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll drop the link to tomorrow's show. You can hit the notification, okay? I'm going to do that right now. Check this out. Go to this link in the chat. Boom. Click on this link, hit the notify me button. Notify me. All proceeds will go to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We're doing an unboxing tomorrow. We're doing unboxing. As well as we're doing storm coverage, Snowmageddon 2026, and NFL playoff preview. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. That's right. NFL playoff preview tomorrow. Got all the good shit. We got all the good shit. Patek is nothing if not innovative. I can see why someone would pay $50 billion. That's right. LVMH is prepared to pay $50 billion for this design powerhouse. Look, they're introducing a new dial color, guys. A new dial color. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We did it. We were able to wrap up everything in 15 minutes. I love it. You guys were very cooperative. You guys were very supportive, very helpful. Everything got wrapped up right on time. We did 15 minutes plus a 5-minute extension and covered everything we wanted to cover. Stay safe, guys. And what you want to do? Reach for the crown? Should we do reach for the crown at the end? Why not? Let's remind everybody. It leaves me all warm and fuzzy when we reach for the crown. So let's pull it up. Pull it up, OC. Pull it up. Reach for the crown. Are we ready? Let's do it. All right. Peace out, guys.